Hello and welcome back, everybody. FSN 2022. It was a long off season, but the draft is done. Week 1 is in the books, and you probably have a pretty good idea of how your team is looking, and so do we. So let's take a look at our way too early Week 1 power rankings as decided by me. So let's start with black and blue, and at number 1 we have Nose Foam. Even with Stafford's poor week 1, he still has a potent offense and will put up numbers this year. With Chubb, DeAndre Swift, and Jamar Chase anchoring his lineup, and probably the best tight end in the NFL in Kelsey, Nose Foam will be a tough matchup for any opponent this year. Plus, a solid bench to cover bye weeks and injuries. Next, Polk High. Although his position players may have some questions since Jacksonville and Seattle might have some trouble moving the ball, as long as Allen is healthy, you will not see Polk High drop down this list too much. Number 3, Colonel Angus. With Kyler Murray, Saquon, and Justin Jefferson leading the team, plus Javonte Williams should be solid with Russell looking to him a lot as a check down week 1. Colonel's main concern is that the new Call of Duty drops later this month. Number 4, BDM. Lamar, Dalvin, Mike Williams, Michael Thomas. Solid. Although Cam Akers might be a question mark, luckily BDM was able to get Henderson on the waiver wire. So however that works out, BDM should be good. Number 5, Funkin' Groovins. Although they took a loss week 1, I still feel good putting them at 5 with solid position players, and Mahomes, Funkin' Groovins will be putting up points all year. Okay, so that was your top 5, and now for everybody else. Number 6, hashtag Go Hawk Yourself with Jalen Hurts and solid receivers. If Austin Eckler and Christian McCaffrey can get going, watch out. Number 7, running late. This team could move up the list quickly if they figure out Carr is a lot better play than Aaron Rodgers. Number 8, Powder. Powder's best wide receiver got 8 points. That's not going to cut it. He needs Russ to play better. Number 9, Slinging Ass Ninjas. Outside of Herbert, Mixon, and Waddle, not much going here. 10, Schlockhawk. This roster would be good in a PPR league. 11, Hawk Yeah. 6 receivers on his roster for a total of 17 points week 1. Ouch. Number 12, Miller Time. The Fantasy Bowl hangover is real. So let's move over to Beggars and Bitches, where at number 1 we have Team America. Jalen Hurts put up 24 points week 1 without a passing touchdown, 90 yards rushing, and a TD on the ground. With a soft schedule this year, he will put up crazy numbers if he can stay healthy. Behind him, America has a slew of talented players, including Stephon Diggs, Robbie Anderson, Michael Thomas, and Russell's favorite check down, Javonte Williams. With a nice deep bench, America will be tough all year. Number 2, Belligerents. The consistent play of Justin Herbert and viable starters in every single roster spot. Couple that with being in a division that saw 3 teams not break 100 points in week 1, and Belligerents is already a favorite to win his division. As the season grinds on and injuries mount, having a roster that fully loaded is going to be huge. Number 3, Pimp Sobs. With Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, and Marquise Brown rounding out his receiving core, Pimp Sobs should put up a ton of points this year. His only concerns are going to be staying healthy and a replacement for Kyler Murray on Call of Duty Modern Warfare's release week. Pimp Sobs also has to contend with a very tough division. Number 4, Potentaries. Josh Allen had 48 points week 1 and no signs that will slow down. Travis Kelce with 36 week 1, plus Jerry Jeudy and Gabriel Davis. With a little work, Potentaries could be a powerhouse, but he will need to plug the holes in his lineup. Number 5, Chumbait. Derek Carr has a huge arm and will be throwing the ball deep a lot. Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, even his kicker and defense are legit in Young Ho and Bills. Depth could be his problem, though, as the season continues, but for now, a solid roster. The only reason Potentaries was ranked higher is strength of schedule. Chumbait finds himself in a division where every team broke 100 points week 1. All right, that was your top 5. Now for the rest. Number 6, Team DK. Despite a loss week 1, Team DK has a good team that will get better when he gets Hopkins back from suspension week number 7. Number 7, Knuckles Deep. Taking a loss week 1 due to a lineup error, Knuckles has Mahomes. He should be competitive this year. Number 8, Running Late. Joe Burrow and Mixon are the bread and butter of this team. Behind that, not much else. Number 9, Shit Kickers. If Russ and Cortland Sutton could get it together, Shit Kickers could move up the rankings. Number 10, Dick Insider. For now, Dick Insider has a problem at QB. Aaron Rodgers should get better, but until he does, here we are. 11, Swollen. Leaning heavily on NFC players is not looking great this year. And number 12, the Kimchi Cooch Kramers. Yikes, bro. Okay, so that was the FSN Power Rankings. I hope you like where you landed on that list, and if not, get better. Now, how you're doing at this point in the season clearly has everything to do with your draft. So, we're going to take a look at some of the draft day debacles in our segment this week, Draft Day Disasters. All right, our first draft day debacle goes to Running Late and Kimchi Cooch Kramers. With the 4th and 6th overall picks in the drafts, Running Late and Kimchi took Derrick Henry. Coming off of injury, Henry could only muster 82 yards on 21 carries. Factor in a fumble, and we may not be seeing the same player we saw last year pre-injury. Okay, so our next draft day disaster goes to Team America, taking Alvin Kamara with his first round pick, who only posted 6 points in week 1 and is already questionable for week 2 with a rib injury. Now, running backs in the first round are dangerous enough off a good team, let alone a team like New Orleans with so many questions. Luckily for Team America, the rest of the draft went far better. Okay, that brings us to BDM. With his second appearance on the list, team owner Jeff took Cam Akers with his second round pick. This was a gamble at best. With an undefined role coming into the season, Cam Akers had 3 carries for 0 yards week 1. Clearly the backup to Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers is not even an option to start. Okay, finally that brings us to Swollen, who took running backs with his first 4 picks in the draft. Now, this might not be a terrible idea if you get the right players. Having said that, Swollen took Dalvin Cook, Zeke, Rashad Penny, and Devin Singletary in that order. Now, together they scored 34 points in a PPR distance touchdown league. And for reference, that's 1 less point than Saquon Barkley got in week 1, who Team DK snagged in the 3rd round. This is the reason why Swollen found himself at number 11 on our power rankings this week. Okay, that was our draft day debacles. Now, before we go, I don't know if everybody saw, but we had our first strike week 1. Knuckles Deep left an injured George Kittle in his lineup. Also, he left Kareem Hunt and 28 points on his bench. So, his opponent reached out to FSN and had this to say.
Hi, everybody. I'm Donald Trump. And I want to say that Zach is the worst fantasy football player ever. China virus. Hey, Zach, maybe you should bench Kareem Hunt. Or maybe you should play him. And then when you bench him, maybe you ought to talk some shit.
That's right, Zach. Way to make the call, baby, and talk shit on Fanball.
Okay, there you have it. FSN, the voice of the leagues. Thanks for joining us this week, and we will see you next time. As always, good luck, losers.